Wakaribishwa Kilimanjaro, hakuna matata.
I think half the adventure is your own spirit.
It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done, but the most amazing thing I've ever done.
I felt like the universe just delivered exactly what I wanted.
Like every step I take, I feel like I can't believe I'm doing this.
It's just been a crazy experience.
They came to climb to the rooftop of Africa. They came to help a school for AIDS orphans. They came with open hearts and a sense of adventure, and they left forever changed.
My grandmother had passed away a couple of months ago, and the biggest lesson I learned from that was you don't have another day. There's only today. There's no someday. And so, like, for me, I was put off seeing my grandmother. And so I didn't get to see her when she passed away. So it kind of really hit home for me. And I was like, all right, well, what do I want to do with my life? And I guess it was one of those moments in your life where you start trying to figure out life.
And I got married at a young age. I was 22, so I've been married 20 years. And then I had 3 children. And it's hard, you can't really do something like this. I love children, I was a teacher. And I wanted to help the kids, and then I felt like I needed to get my hands dirty. And I went from 0 to Mount Kilimanjaro.
I took that leap and I decided, okay, I can do this, and it doesn't matter that I don't know anybody. I'm gonna fly halfway across the world by myself, meet 10 strangers, and do something I can be proud of.
I think in life, and maybe this is just for me, but I think for a lot of people, is you need to challenge yourself and do things that you say, wow, that was cool. You know, I'm living life. I'm not just getting through it, or it's not living me. I'm living life. So I'm doing stuff that I think is great, and I'm excited to have done it. I think it's helpful to be excited about life, to bring to everything else you do.
Whatever their reasons, the 6 women left their homes and loved ones behind, traveling halfway across the world to Tanzania. The trip offered a unique pairing of rugged outdoor adventure and hands-on volunteerism. The journey began with a 7-day climb up the highest freestanding peak in the world, the majestic Mount Kilimanjaro.
I don't know if I've reflected my feelings to the landscape, or the landscape has reflected back to me. You know, when we started out, we were in that protective rainforest, and I think we were all a little bit apprehensive starting at the beginning of our trip, and that just felt like a really earthy, nurturing environment. There was all those lovely moss hanging from the trees, and it was quiet, and you could hear sort of the sound of the earth underneath your boots, and it was just very comforting. And then as our own confidence built up, the landscape got a bit rougher. We started to see sort of the moonscapes and the exposed slate, and you sort of, it looked a little more daunting and different. But maybe at that point we were ready for it, and I think as you go, you sort of develop a relationship with the land, and you begin to trust it a little bit more, and so then when it starts to change, it becomes more curious, you know, and just not so threatening, but more of a curiosity.
Yesterday when we were really on the side of the mountain, really like rock climbing, I kept thinking, I wish my boys could see me do this. I don't want to jinx anything, but this is by far the most fun day. Isn't it? I mean, we might have like 5 hours left, I don't know, but this is cool.
You want to know why? Because you're not wearing any makeup.
Right, it must be it. Makeup was weighing me down.
Yeah, weighing down the fun factor.
In some ways, I feel like we've known each other for weeks or months, not just a couple of days.
I just like the sound of everyone's breathing. It's so comforting. I can hear everyone. And it's just like, it's like we're taking this one group breath in. You know? It's nice. It is the best of female qualities, I think, and I think it's helped us all to bond as a group. It's amazing. I am overwhelmed.
We're kind of like not girly girls, but it's like, I don't know, like we're not afraid to rough it up, to get rough, I guess. But I still have my lip gloss on.
They followed the Lemosho route, one of the longest and most remote trails to the summit. The longer climb allows for a more gradual acclimatization to the altitude, with better chances for success on summit day. The women weren't alone on their journey. Each day, a group of 33 porters supported the women, carrying their equipment, setting up their tents, and preparing their meals, all for about $30 a day. These men earned their title Mgumu, Swahili for hardcore.
To me, the porters represent truly the spirit of Africa. They are everything that I think about when I think about this continent. The smiles, the willingness to help a complete stranger, openness of heart, the shining eyes, the warm smile. You know, even when you can't communicate, there's such a level there.
As we're packing away, they're packing everything, not only their stuff in the kitchen, but as well as all our tents and our bags, and they're carrying that over their shoulders and on their heads. Like, the way they balance everything on their head, it's amazing.
The good thing in our country is that everyone has got his own language to speak. You see? Like, I'm a Chaga, I speak Chaga. Samba, I speak Samba, but I can't understand what he's talking about, and he can't understand what I'm talking about. But what makes us togetherness is the language Swahili.
Habari za sahizi.
Habari za sahizi. So it's good all the time.
All the time.
So you don't have to say good morning, good afternoon, good night. You just say good right now.
Yeah. So what is it now?
Habari za sahizi.
Yeah. Nzuri sana.
Habari za sahizi.
Nzuri sana.
Nzuri sana.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Very
Sahana.
good. Yeah, habari za sahizi nzuri sana.
Did she get it?
Yeah.
Leaving the Karanga Valley, the women climbed to the final campsite of Barafu Hut. They had reached 15,000 feet in elevation. Along with great beauty, the mountain brought great challenge. As they climbed higher, reaching the final campsite at Barafu Hut, many suffered symptoms of altitude sickness, sleeplessness, headaches, shortness of breath. In order to succeed, the women would need to learn the wisdom of pole pole.
As we're walking along, the guides will often say pole pole, meaning take it easy. This is not a race. Going faster is not the goal here. Just take your time at a slow pace because you'll get there. First of all, if you go too fast, you may not get there at all. But if you go more slowly, you will most likely get there and you'll enjoy it much more, and you'll just enjoy the whole experience of it if you're not thinking about how fast am I going, am I keeping up.
Slowly, slowly, and just take it one step at a time. Take it as it comes at you, don't miss anything. Don't get too far ahead of yourself.
I also find that it's been very meditative, you know, that whole one foot in front of the other, and you know, I've sort of been looking up at the trek and been like, wow, that's a long haul, and then you just keep going step by step. And the really nice thing is, what a metaphor for life. Like, I'm really thinking all these things that that look a little daunting that I'd like to move into. It's like, well, just start them, you know, take it step by step.
Whatever you want to accomplish, you have to have that vision. But it takes small steps, and you have the milestones that you have to reach before you actually reach your bigger goal. And that's what it really is.
Finally, summit day arrived. The women arose at midnight, donned headlamps, and began their 8-hour hike to Uhuru Peak. At 19,343 feet, Uhuru Peak is the highest point in Africa. The air is thin and the climb relentless.
There was this bond that was formed amongst the group, and I think that's really what pulled a lot of us up that mountain, when it was just thinking you couldn't make it another step, but everyone was there right in front of you, right behind you, going through the same thing, just breathing, and it was really hard. No two ways about it.
It was hard for me, and my stomach was cramping and everything, so I don't know what it was within me. I guess I was kind of like a machine, or set myself up so that it's just like one step after another. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
You are one determined person.
I made it this far. Can't stop. It's like, deal with the pain, suck it up. Just gotta keep on going, keep going. Yeah, we did.
The climbing took everything I had, emotionally, physically, mentally. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, and it lasted for hours and hours. Somehow, I don't know, I kept going, and I know I had my boys in my mind that I really wanted to do it for them.
Did it for you guys. My boys. So happy.
You know, looking up and seeing those headlamps way up there, and then we knew they were moving, and that wasn't even the top. That was hard, so good luck kept saying, don't look up, don't look down, just look at your feet. So it's good advice, but it was amazing to get to the top.
I thought it was amazing that everybody made it. I think that's what made it so emotional, because everyone had our own individual struggles, and it pushed us to all our limits. And then we see everyone else we've been struggling with for the past week make it to the top 2. That was amazing.
Leaving the serene nature of Mount Kilimanjaro behind, they traveled south towards Tanzania's bustling city center, Dar es Salaam. Traveling down a long dirt road to the small village of Mbgala, they arrived at the next part of their adventure, a volunteer project at the Mbgala Children's Care Center. The children welcomed the women with a special performance of traditional songs and dances.
It really is a village that is off the beaten path. You know, it is not pull off the highway and take a right. It is down, you know, it is a mile or two, dirt roads, very small village, not a place that would automatically get attention otherwise. And for us, I think has really been a chance, you know, every time on that drive there when we pass, you know, all the one-level houses and kids running around in the neighborhood, it is a reminder that there is extreme need.
It was pretty emotional when they came in, and they were beautiful with their smiling faces, and they had prepared their dances for us, which were really wonderful and kind of tribal, I guess. You know, the drum was beating. It was just very moving, and you wanted to get up with them and dance.
The welcome was so sincere and so heartfelt, and especially because they were doing their song from memory, you know, but they also had these big grins on their face, and there were little kids, the little ones that were watching it, and they were, you know, clapping along, and were so excited that we were there, and that was pretty special.
I was really tired that day, and I was feeling like, oh, I don't know if I can put in a full day. And what a tremendous way to start, because it was just like, okay, here's my dose of inspiration. I think
I think just meeting the kids and knowing that this is their environment and just kind of looking at them and I had this moment where I was just like, you're all little seeds, you know, and I just want to give you the best place to grow in, and I think that's what this is about, whether you're working on the desks or the murals or cleaning up in general. It's just about changing an environment for very special little people.
Started in 2001 by retired school teacher Fatima Gawao, the Bibi Jan School and Children's Care Trust is responding to the AIDS crisis in Tanzania, where almost 1 million children have been orphaned due to the epidemic. Relying on charitable contributions, the school provides scholarships and medical care to the orphans of Mbgala. The Bibi to Bibi, or Grandmother to Grandmother program, offers support to 25 local grandmothers who are caring for 75 orphan grandchildren, often on less than $1 a day. Fatima herself cares for 3 orphan girls.
I had a dream to build a school for orphans and to help many people who they had problems for life. We had a school and the Bibi's project. The Bibi make clothes like a batiki, and we sell the batiki. After selling, we get money to buy food for kids and other things kids they need.
The women had an ambitious work slate. They planned to install a water filtration system so that the school could have clean running water. Previously, water had to be boiled, and even then some children were getting sick. They planned to put in 2 new clean-burning gas stoves to replace the charcoal and wood-burning ones that the Bibis had been using to prepare the children's daily meal. They planned to refurbish 5 classrooms and, with the help of local carpenters, build 30 student desks. They had raised the money for these projects themselves, getting support from friends and family at home. Many of the women also brought school supplies and books for the kids.
The first half of the trip, you want to work hard for yourself to try and do and accomplish something. And then here, when at the school, you really want to make it a great environment for these kids to learn in, because a healthy, comfortable environment is so much better for children to focus on their work, and you want to do good by them.
Spent all yesterday sanding down the walls, getting them ready so they can get primed and painted, decorate the classrooms, just make it a prettier place for the kids to go to school.
I've been on desk building duty, so that's really satisfying, and I feel like it's an homage to my dad because he really taught me how to build. It's specific to what I am able to give. It's a gift I can give to them, a smile and a desk and something very hands-on. It's definitely my personality, so it's been great.
It's been so wonderful because the kids were here, the teachers were here, they're participating and helping, sanding and painting, and they obviously appreciate it very much, and we feel like we're doing something that's really meaningful for them.
Especially the clear water system for them. It's really going to enhance their lives and make life a little bit better for them. I mean, we take a lot of things for granted, and for them, this is basic necessities. So it's just amazing work.
I've been drawing a lot. I don't know if I can lift my right arm anymore. It's pretty tired. Standing on desks, reaching up to the tops of the ceilings, painting the ceilings. Now is the fun part, though, is doing the drawings and getting, colorful pictures on the walls for the kids.
I am Mom.
You're Mom. Okay.
Your Mom.
Yeah. So we can call you Mom, right? Okay, Mom. Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
Very nice to be in your home.
Karibuni sana.
Each day at lunchtime, the Bibis prepared a traditional meal for the women, and they were welcomed into Fatima's home.
Being welcomed into their homes and having a meal, which is a very personal thing to do, they're cooking for us every day. Really nice, very special part of being here.
It's a community, and I love you got the grandmothers raising children, and It's just beautiful how everyone comes together.
The Bibis are the heart of this community, caring for the children and helping at the school. Without the support of the Bibi to Bibi program, many of these grandmothers would be homeless, unable to provide basic food and clothing for the children. Even under these dire circumstances, their strength and kindness shine through.
The grandmothers are the maternal leaders of the school too, you know, I mean, maybe not day to day, but they're running the Mbgala, you know, the gift shop over there, and that they are the ones giving the kids the love and the light that's in them. You know, this could be a very sad situation, but it's not because of all the love.
It's really heartwarming. It's incredible. It's very inspiring. The strength of these women to do what they're doing, to be able to help a group of people that are helping each other, is even more impactful.
When we first came in and we saw the playground, I mean, it's metal, it looks like no balls to play with, and yet the children at break time were all over the equipment and so incredibly happy, really happy, and sliding down a slide that was made of a wood plank didn't bother them. So sometimes I think maybe we really put our own biases on what should or shouldn't be.
For me, it's been very eye-opening. You come into, you know, off the beaten path, you know, where basic necessities are a luxury. And you see these smiles on these people's faces and they're happy. They're going along life, even though they might not have clean water or food, they still manage to have a smile on their face and enjoy, you know, everyday life.
Before the project was completed, the kids came in to get a glimpse of their newly decorated classrooms.
Yeah, those who look and those who listen. Good. What can you see here now? Yes. Giraffe. Where's giraffe? Yes. Fish. Where's fish? That one? Yes. What is this? Eh? Good. And what is this? Eh? Mbgala bot. Okay? Yeah. Good. And what this? Huh? What? How about this? Eh? Train. TZ Express. Okay?
It really does make it even more of a connection and more fulfilling, because you know that your sweat equity is in there, and that every stroke you make of a brush or every nail you hammer in is going to be creating something lasting for a school that's doing something, again, that's just wonderful for these unbelievably beautiful children.
It's the greatest rewarding experience.
I love that these kids they have joy in them, and it's only going to get more and more nurtured and better as they get older, I think, because they have this place to go to every day.
As the bus pulled away from the school, the women had a chance to reflect on their amazing experience.
It's been so much fun all around, and actually knowing that I could go somewhere, feel comfortable, not know anybody, go to halfway around the world, but I guess kind of knowing that I could do it was really, really important to me.
It was an incredible experience, and you know, the group spirit has just been fantastic, and the importance of, you know, just being with other people, and I think also just the female connection on this trip. This is really tremendously special in, you know, what we have.
Coming to Africa and thinking, I've never been in this continent, and I wonder how it's going to be. It's going to be very different. What are the people going to be like? They're the same as we are. And we being kind of anywhere, I'm not just saying America or New York or anywhere, same dreams, same aspirations, and to appreciate that, again, we're very fortunate, and there are others that are struggling and having the same dreams and having a more difficult time realizing them. That's a big takeaway. And how wonderful people like the grandmothers here, the people who run Mbgala, who out of the goodness of their heart are really extending themselves beyond to help those. They don't have to do this, and yet they're doing so many wonderful things. The teachers are doing it, the grandmothers, the community that supports them. It's wonderful. So it's inspiring to say, you know, do something yourself. Because these people all said individually, I'm going to do something. And if you band together and you can do such amazing things, and you just say, I can do that then. If they can do this with having so little, I can do this. I can do more. It really makes you want to do more.
For me, like, it's kind of like a journey and a path to discover, like, you know, what is it that I want to surround myself with in my life. And I don't need that, you know, expensive car. I don't need all the clothes and the shoes that I have. It's the people, I think.
It's just been really special, all the people we've met. This whole trip has been about immersion and what it's like to maybe not live here per se, but to really get to know the people that you're involved with at each spot, which is amazing.
It's one of those experiences I wish did not have to come to an end. It's a nice way to find yourself through helping others.
From the tallest mountain to the tiniest hands, Tanzania had bestowed its many gifts. The bright eyes of the children so eager to learn, the bibis so warm and caring, the songs of the porters on the mountain, and the wisdom of Pole Pole that had served them so well.
Okay, Nasra. We walk together.